Welcome 7th grade designers. Over the next week, you will be designing an object in 3 dimensions. At the end of the week, you will see one design actually printed out from the computer in plastic. The designs that you will be making will be pencil holders. In order to do this, you will need to know about geometry, including which kinds of geometric shapes to use, how to calculate or estimate the volumes of these shapes. Before we get started, take a quiz that will last for 45 minutes. During this quiz, no calculators are allowed. That includes handheld calculators or computer programs that can be used as a calculator. To start, go to tinyurl.com/make3dshapes. And hit enter. Once you're there, you can type in a username and password that your teacher will provide. After you log in, you can find a project that says 3D Design Pre-Quiz and click Run Project, then click By Myself. The project may take up to a minute to load. Once the project loads, it may say, make an estimate for the problem. Reload the page again to see the problem itself. In this example, it's 23 times 78. I'm going to use rounding. In this case, I'm rounding 23 down to 20, so I type that in. And then I'm rounding 78 up, so I type that in where it says describe your estimation strategy in words. Then I go to the next box and I start typing in what I'm rounding to. The button at the bottom left-hand corner there is the almost equals sign. Since 23 times 78 almost equals 20 times 80, that's how I start. That almost equals 2 times 8. And I know that 2 times 8 is 16. But that's not the total estimate. I know that 23 times 78 is much larger than 16. So to complete my estimate, I'm going to put 2 zeros at the end of that number. I type that at the bottom where it says adjust the estimate. Our final estimate is 1,600. That's the 16 from above with 2 zeros at the end. And that's my estimate for 23 times 78. Next, I can click on the green arrow at the top right-hand corner of the screen to move on to the next problem. This problem is a little different. It's 16 times 43, and you're trying to make an estimate. So when I look at this problem, I can tell that I might want to round 43 down to 40. So I'll start with that. I type round 43 down. But there's more to it than that. Let's say I know off the top of my head that 16 times 4 is 64. So I type that in. I know that 16 times 4 is 64. And then that's plenty to write in this section with the words. Then I can click over here in the numbers and symbols section, and once again I start with the almost equal sign, and I know that 16 times 43 almost equals 16 times 40. And I can basically get it from there. So this time I am not going to check the adjust the estimate box. I'm going to leave that unchecked. I'm just going to go straight down to the bottom here, click in this box, and type 640 as my estimate. and then I'm going to go on to the next one.